I'm going to be talking about what I've been doing and what I've achieved and what I'm going to be doing. All right, it's going to be very, very basic actually. For example, first step, I'm going to give you some quick facts about me is that I love any kind of sport. I'm a sport addict. All right, I would love to be a bodybuilder. I'm not, but I try, and it's so much fun to just be involved in something. And I love to smile. I love being silly. I'm a clown. You know, if people see me, they'll smile. They'll be happy, and that's what I love doing. You know, that's me. And I'm a very, very perfectionist person. It has been in my disadvantage a couple of times as well. But most of the time it really works because I do things the way I want them to, and if they don't go the way I want them to, then I'm going to try to adjust them to make them work even better, you know. And I'm so kind. I'm like an angel, you know. I'm really kind, and I'm very, very motivated. Motivated especially for my dreams, all right? Because those dreams, they really make me live my life, and that's something that is very important for me. And obviously, I love my family. I think most of you guys love your family. So, cars, that's a very big thing about me, too. But you can't have mine. They're mine. So I'm sorry for that. Obviously, I love wealth. And wealth is something, that's one of my biggest dreams and motivations. And that's something I'm working to right now. And it's working really well. So I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech anyways, even if it's not going to be one of the subjects. I really want to do one because it's going to involve me and a lot of other lives that have been changed and are going to be changed. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do, and maybe help you guys out too. So that's something for later on though. And Daryl's gonna do that too, so it's really, really cool. You'll see, it's a secret. I love technology. Sometimes I think I'm the best at technology, but actually sometimes it's like I kind of suck too, you know. But I really love doing technology. I love all kind of gadgets. Like when there's a new phone, I want to have it, even though I know I am not going to be able to buy all new phones. But still, I love it. I love to write. I'm really I like to say for myself that I'm really good at writing because I really love writing about anything. I don't care about what it is. If you want me to write about a table, I'll write about a table. I can write a story about a stupid table, and I love doing it. And music. Music is something that just drives me, and I really do like it, you know, so it's really cool. And this obviously is me. Very cute. You're gonna see this throughout the whole presentation. This is a very important part in my life, which you're gonna see is good or bad or whatever. So I was born in August 26th, but in Belgium we switch it around. It's 26th of August, 1990. It's a little bit different. So every time when I go somewhere, for example, on my passport, people will be like, "Oh, you're born in the 26th month." And mostly like those security guards would be like, "Oh, yeah, that's my month, sure." And I had 4 friends. I had my mom, my dad, my grandma, and my grandpa, and those were my best friends, and they will be in the whole story. They will be there forever. They will be there till I die or till they die or whenever. Preschool, all right. I use these terms. They're probably not always the same as you guys use them, but that's how we use them in Belgium, and I tried to translate them a little bit. So what was very, very important for me was that I was joyful. I was always joyful, you know. I was happy and very playful. And this is my grandpa. He's really cool. He still has that mustache, believe it or not. He has still the same mustache. Why? Because his dad had it too. And he kept wearing it the whole time. It's crazy. It's really funny. And I think now he's 72. So he's an amazing guy. He's one of my big inspirations. He's a really cool guy. And I had those 4 friends. All right. Kindergarten. All right. I didn't care about sharing. I'm still very bad at sharing. So, for example, bringing this is a big deal for me. Even though it might seem very easy for her to bring that, for me it's a very big deal. And I'm working so hard at that to just be able to share something. It's so hard for me to, for example, if my host kids ask me, "Anthony, can I borrow your phone?" I'm like, should I give him my phone or not? It's really hard. In my brain, it's really hard. It's really tough. but I'm working on it and it's going so good right now. I'm sharing all over the place and I'm gonna share those bracelets you gave and it's really cool. So I'm working on it and it's really fun. So here you see I have 7 friends, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Then I had my 2 neighbors who live across the other side of this wall. And I had myself. I started creating my own life, you know. I have my own mindset. I have my own imaginary person. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. That's why I look a little bit. I was before Psy, you see. That's me. I invented that. Psy didn't invent that. Just saying. You saw my picture. A lower school is see, that's me. And I had no worries, happiness all over the place. And I added another friend. I was so proud. I added a friend. For me, even at that age, and now still, it's very hard to add friends. I'm a very social person, but to add a friend is so hard for me. I can't just add somebody as a friend. You know, I really have to trust them. People start with a lot of trust with me, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't like people in my circle if they don't have the same mindset as me. So 8 friends was a big achievement for me. You know, you see I'm a very happy guy. I was chilling there, posing. And then I come into high school, and that was the first half of high school. We call high school is from how do we do that? I think it's from 12 years old till 18 years old. That's what we call high school. It's separated a little bit into 12 to 15 and then 15 to 18. But anyways, this was a big part of my life. I moved so many times. I think in total now I moved 8 times. And it was a big deal. Because what happened is I got bullied a lot, tons. And people did this because they put this stamp on me and they didn't even know who I was. Therefore, again, it was this big push on me for not accepting somebody in my circle of friends. You know, it was so hard for me to accept people in my circle of friends. So, and I'm gonna share this with you. It's really stupid why they would close me out of stuff. Is they would say, "Hey Anthony, you're gay." That was the stamp people put on me all my life. Even though I am 100% straight, I had girlfriends all over the place. I had a girlfriend here, there. And still they would say I'm gay. Why? Because I was a nice guy. I'm skinny. And even thinking about it, it gives me goosebumps all over the place. Because I just don't understand why people would give you a stamp if they don't even know who you are. You know what I mean? And I was alone, you know. I was so alone, and what I did was something not a lot of people do though, but it's very important. For me, it changed my life. It was such an easy decision. I made immediate action to change my life into a video game, all right? And it might seem stupid for a lot of people, but turning that life into a video game was the best thing I've ever done. It turned my life into such a great thing. What I did, for example, is, oh my God, I just opened that door. How? With my foot, you know? And it gave me 10 points. And at the end of the day, I had so many points in my head. My parents don't even know that. I just created some levels, and I was like, you know what? If something bad happens, I push the reset button, I start over. There's no game over, because, you know, in the video games, you can just start over. If you mess up, you start over. So that's my video game. I messed up. I think everybody messes up every day. At least that's what I do. When I'm baking something, I'm just like, oh shit, that's not something I should have done. Let's redo it. And that's just something that's very important. Drop to 5 friends, all right? So I dropped to my mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and myself. That's the only friends I had. Nobody was in my circle, even though they said they were my friends. They were no friends, no. They were all just people I knew. And they were trying to pretend to be my friend, but they weren't. And it was a very big deal. High school, second half. It was a big change. That was a very big change for me. I changed school. And why did I change school? To go back to the first part, because I got bullied. And I failed my exams because of that. And it was so hard for me to stay there that I was like, hey, you know what? Let's bring in that change. So I brought in a change, and that was sports. I used my sports in school, so I started doing physical education, and it was such a nice thing to do for me. So yeah, I still get in that same old thing where people pretend to be my friend, and then yet behind my back they would talk stuff about me, like big stuff, you know, and they even like bullied me and punched me and whatever they did nasty stuff to me. And see what happened? I went from 5 to 6. That was a big achievement for me. I went to one friend in the whole school, and that friend is still my friend today. So it's not a long time. Even though I am still smiling, it was still a nasty job for me to get that one friend, if you know what I mean. And then I go to college looking all fancy, and that was a nice try, you know, for me it was a very nice try. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I'm the cool guy, you know. I started changing my acting and the way I was with people, and it worked. It was crazy. I went to college, and people would be like, oh my God, that guy, look at his shoes, look at his clothes, he's cool. People came up to me because I looked different. I started dressing different towards them, though. That's what they thought. I've been dressing like this all my life, and then just it turns to be that everybody else thinks it's cool too because they kind of have that shorts or they kind of have a bracelet, you know? And it was crazy that people just kept judging me and still calling me gay just for being nice to people, for dressing up a little bit nicer than most of the people were doing. It's crazy. Stayed at 6 friends. Come to college, not a single person was my friend because nobody believed in me besides my friends, parents, and my friend Brent. He's a very amazing guy. He supports me too. Then we come here. College attempt too, so I stopped doing the first year I was doing communication, didn't really work. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this, failed, and switched to another try. It was a nicer try, and I went to do physical education again. Again, that sports, that was something I liked, you know, I thought maybe that works. No, it went from worse to worse and worse and worse. People just I had longer hair at the time, and people again, oh, he's gay, he can't have a girlfriend, that's weird. And I was like, no, you just don't see the picture. I am a nice guy, and I'm not here to be treated as somebody that I'm not. So I backed out. I was like, sorry guys, but you don't have that mindset that I have. So I'm like, sorry. Even though I love going to school, I was the only one sitting in class 10 minutes early, front row, and they would say, oh my gosh, look at him sitting at the front row, you know? And I was like, come on, what's the problem? There's no problem sitting in the back row. If you want to sit in the back row, you go sit there. I want to sit in the front row because it makes it easier for me to pay attention because all of you are not paying attention, you know? So 6 friends. Nobody added anything. Nobody wanted to be my friend. I didn't want to be anybody else's friend because it didn't work. We didn't feel that connection. So I said, fuck. I said, fuck it. I'm gonna start working. I'm going to start working. That degree is not working. I get in trouble more than I'm achieving something, so I start working. What did I do? I went working for an organization called Club Med, and it's like a travel organization. They have a lot of resorts all over the world, and it's a French organization, so it really made my French a little bit cooler and was pretty nice. I met a lot of cool people. I was living my life. I was finally being accepted by so many people, and I had over 300 friends coming to me every week. 300 kids that I took care of every week. Why? Because kids don't care. They don't care. They want to be your friend, and I didn't care at all. I was their friend. I was their best buddy for a week. They went home. Parents loved me. Everybody loved me. Yet, all the people that worked there, also approximately 300 people, they didn't like me at all. Nobody liked me. I was like, am I doing something wrong? What's going on? You know, I don't get it. And I had a breakdown. I had a big breakdown. Not like I was not sitting in my room and being all sad, because that's not what I am. So I just tried to change something in my life, and there was really a big need of change, because I was like, what am I doing wrong? I think I'm 22 years old here, or 21 years old, and for 21 years I've been asking myself, what am I doing wrong towards other people? And it was so amazing that nobody understood what was wrong besides my 6 friends. It was insane that nobody would just understand what was going on. So I decided to make a change. Again, that change to please other people. To please other people and try to fit in. And yet it was a very big change for me, because I thought it was important for me too to come to the United States. I call it my mission possible, because this is not impossible for me. This is something that is, it changed my life. Just making that decision to just back off and let everybody in Belgium think what they think and screw it. So I came here, and shoot, I still had that 6 friends. I was like, dang. At the orientation, we had an orientation week in New York City, and I fell in love. I've been in New York City, but it was amazing though, still. But there were people from all over the world, especially Europe, and nobody liked me in that group. Nobody liked me. All girls. Nobody liked me. Saying, he must be gay. He can be nice. Well, he's too nice. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. He's not right. There's something wrong with that guy. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm just a nice guy. I just trying to fit in. And I try to do what you think is good. So I tried to adapt to people. So I thought, like, hey, maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe I should just do what I like doing. Maybe people would appreciate me for that. So I changed it, and I went to my change part 2. And I was going bonkers, I would start smiling even more, just trying to impress people. And every day, I'm improving my dream. So my dream is starting to realize. This is starting to be realized. This is today. This is really today. For the first time, I have a big feeling of success. Being here in the United States, being surrounded by people that have the same mindset. It's so strange that if you go to Europe, people don't understand you. I come into the United States, and I have 313 people, a million people that are my friends. All right? Even if they don't want to be my friends, I'm 100% sure that all of you guys here in class probably don't want to be my friend, but you're still interested in somebody else's life. And you share a more polite smile, a more politeness towards people, instead of just people in Belgium would be like, yeah, what's that guy talking about? He's just talking about crap, and he's not saying anything that makes sense. But for me, it does, though. For me, it does. I took the 900,000 off that were from Wikipedia, because I can't be friends with anybody. I have 330 million friends now, so I'm happy, all right? So I'm really happy. I'm living my life. I'm living my dream. And I have a note to myself, is that, again, that life is a video game. That works still. It really works. I'm seeing my life as, if I do something wrong, I'll just reset it. I don't care if something goes wrong. I'm so happy, even when people let me down, they put me down, I don't care. I don't care. So I'm always positive. I'm so positive. I'm always energetic. And people appreciate that, especially here in the United States. It's really weird. If you go to Europe, you don't have that. Here, I come here living my dream, And what, like, the friend part considers, I'll just stick with my original 6, but I know that since I've been here in the United States, I've come along with way more people than I could even imagine. And after all, this is just me, so thank you very much for listening.